Eagles fans, and welcome to another electrifying edition of Eagles Insider, where we dive deep into the heart of Philadelphia football. Can you believe it? The Philadelphia Eagles are sitting pretty at 4-0 to start the 2025 season, undefeated and unbowed, just like that iconic 2017 squad that shocked the world and brought home the Lombardi Trophy. But hold on, it's not all smooth sailing in the city of brotherly love. Tonight, we're talking about a brewing storm in the offense, where star wide receiver A.J. Brown is owning up to his frustrations, and legendary center Jason Kelce. Yeah, that Jason Kelce, the heart and soul of this team for over a decade, is basically daring the opposition to make things even tougher for Brown. What an unbelievable twist in this perfect start. Let's break it all down, shall we? First off, let's set the scene. The Eagles are 4-0, folks. That's no small feat in the brutal NFC East, where every game feels like a street fight against rivals like the Dallas Cowboys or those pesky New York Giants. Remember the Philly Special from Super Bowl 52? That kind of grit is baked into this team's DNA. But this year, they've had to grind out wins, battling through early struggles against the Rams and late-game nail-biters versus the Buccaneers. They're not dominating like the high-flying offenses of yesteryear, yet they're finding ways to win. It's that resilience that makes Philly fans chant, "Fly, Eagles, fly," with such passion at Lincoln Financial Field, home to some of the rowdiest, most loyal supporters in the NFL. I mean, these fans have seen it all, from the glory days of Reggie White sacking quarterbacks left and right in the 80s and 90s, to Brian Dawkins patrolling the secondary like a wolf in the 2000s, and Donovan McNabb slinging passes during those epic playoff runs. Now, with current stars like quarterback Jalen Hurts, who's got that dual-threat magic, and receivers like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith forming one of the league's most dynamic duos, the Eagles are building on that legacy. But let's get to the meat of tonight's story. A.J. Brown, the powerhouse wideout who came over from Tennessee in a blockbuster trade back in 2022, has been simmering with frustration over the offense's slow start. After their win over the Buccaneers, Brown skipped the media scrum and dropped a cryptic Bible verse on social media. Mark 6 verse 11, talking about quietly withdrawing if you're not welcome. Fans were buzzing. Is this aimed at the team? At Hurts? At head coach Nick Sirianni? It sparked all kinds of speculation, especially with Brown's numbers not popping like we're used to. Through 4 games, he's got just 14 catches for 151 yards and 1 touchdown. Most of that coming in a single explosion against the Rams. Against Tampa Bay, it was a measly 2 grabs for 7 yards on 9 targets. For a guy who's built like a tank at 6 feet 1 inch and 226 pounds, with hands like glue and speed to burn, that's not the A.J. Brown we know, the one who racked up over 1,400 yards in 2022 and helped propel the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Brown stepped up this week, though, taking full ownership like a true pro. "This is home," he said, making it clear Philly's where his heart is. "I did it to myself. I let my frustrations boil over. I didn't speak to the media when I had the chance to correct it, and that's on me. I take full accountability." He emphasized that his post wasn't directed at anyone in the building. Not Hurts, not GM Howie Roseman, nobody. It's refreshing to see that maturity from Brown, who's not just a star on the field but a leader off it. Remember, this is the same guy who formed an unbreakable bond with Hurts, calling him his brother after that trade. Their chemistry has been key to the Eagles' success, turning short slants into big gains and deep bombs into touchdowns. But right now, the whole offense is sputtering. They're dead last in the league at 30th in total yards, averaging a paltry 251.5 per game. That's the lowest for any 4-0 team since the 1941 New York Giants. They've been outgained in every single matchup, and Hurts' passing efficiency is down, with low yards per attempt and fewer explosive plays. It's like the engine's revving but not quite hitting top gear yet. Now, enter Jason Kelce, the retired Eagle who's still dropping wisdom bombs on his podcast and in interviews. Kelce, who anchored the offensive line through thick and thin, including that unforgettable Super Bowl win where he paraded in a mummer's costume, chimed in on Sports Radio 94 WIP about the upcoming clash with the Denver Broncos. Specifically, he addressed the buzz that Broncos shutdown corner Patrick Surtain II might shadow Brown all game long. Surtain's no joke. He's one of the NFL's elite young defenders, a Pro Bowler who's already locked down stars like Jamar Chase, allowing just 1 catch for 8 yards in their latest matchup, and historically holding him to 4 receptions for 35 yards over 54 routes. That's shutdown corner stuff, folks. A defensive back who sticks to a receiver like glue in man coverage, trying to erase them from the game plan. But Kelce, he's all in on it. "I hope they do that," he said bluntly. If you look at the Eagles versus man coverage and Jalen Hurts, they have just annihilated teams. While that might hinder AJ's production, as an offense and as a team, bring the man on, baby. You put man against our team and the players we have and the quarterback, and what he brings to the table, I feel very confident in the Eagles having success against that. What a statement! It's classic Kelce, confident, fiery, and team first. He's essentially saying, "Go ahead, Broncos, focus on Brown. We've got depth." And he's right. With Devonta Smith, the Slim Reaper himself, who's got that silky route running and sure hands, remember his Heisman-winning days at Alabama? Plus tight end Dallas Goedert, who's a mismatch nightmare at 6 feet 5 inches, and a running back like Saquon Barkley pounding the rock, the Eagles can attack from all angles. Hurts, with his legs and arm, adds that extra dimension. He's rushed for over 300 yards already this season, keeping defenses honest. Let's dive deeper into the tactics here. In man coverage, defenders match up one-on-one, no help from zones. It's pure athleticism and technique. The Eagles thrive against it because Hurts can extend plays with his mobility, buying time for receivers to get open. Statistically, Philly's offense ranks in the top 5 in success rate against man coverage over the last 2 years, per NFL Next Gen Stats. Compare that to their struggles in zone, where teams drop back and force short throws. That's where they've bogged down this season. If Denver commits Surtain to Brown, it opens lanes for Smith, who torched man coverage last year with an average of 2.1 yards per route run. And don't forget the defensive side. The Eagles' D, led by edge rushers like Josh Sweat and Bryce Huff, has forced turnovers in clutch moments, ranking top 10 in points allowed. They've given up some momentum swings, sure, but coordinator Vic Fangio's schemes, blending aggressive blitzes with stout run defense, have kept them in games. Historically, this reminds me of the 2004 Eagles, who started 7-0 en route to the Super Bowl, overcoming early offensive hiccups through sheer willpower. Or think back to the 2017 champs, who lost Carson Wentz mid-season but rallied around Nick Foles. Philly's always been about that underdog spirit, fighting through adversity, just like the city's own Rocky Balboa, punching above their weight. Pop culture tie-in? Absolutely. The Eagles' story mirrors those comeback films. Brown's frustrations could be his training montage moment, leading to a breakout. Imagine if we caught up with a fictional expert analyst, say, former Eagle great Brian Dawkins. In my mind, he'd say something like, "Weapon X here. Listen, AJ's a beast, but football's a team game. Kelce's spot on. Let Surtain shadow him, and watch Hurts dissect the rest." That's how we built our defense back in the day. Force the offense to beat you elsewhere. Or picture a passionate fan at a Philly tailgate. "Yo, AJ, we got your back. Fly Eagles fly." Turn that frustration into fuel against Denver. Even Coach Sirianni might chime in hypothetically, "We're built for this." Brown's accountability shows the character in this locker room. One game at a time. Looking ahead, this Sunday's matchup with the Broncos could be a turning point. If Surtain shadows Brown and the Eagles still roll, maybe Hurts throws for 300 yards and 2 scores, it validates Kelce's confidence and silences the doubters. Predictions? I'm calling a 27-20 Eagles win, with Brown breaking free for a late touchdown despite the coverage, proving his resilience. Long-term, this could propel them deeper into the playoffs, maybe even challenging for the NFC top seed. But if the offense stalls, it might highlight needs for the draft, like bolstering the O-line depth post-Kelce era. Eagles Nation, this is why we love this team. The drama, the heart, the unbreakable spirit. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't miss Sunday's game. Grab your green gear, head to the link or tune in, and let's keep this undefeated streak alive. Fly Eagles fly!